Hey Westside, this is Natalie Kimura, your Western District Vice President of Membership, and I dropped the ball on this week's Meme Fact Monday, and I'm doing it very late at night. You're seeing me in all no makeup, and I wanted to give a good one to end on my term, but we're probably going to do one more even after WDC, but for this focus today, I wanted to talk about things you wouldn't know about the offices that people are running for in district office. This is a lot of based off of my experiences of what I've seen during my 2 years in office and what I've learned from research and from what I've seen from our history documents. So this is just a really quick overview of what I've learned.
Okay, out of laziness, I've just written everything down so I do not miss a thing. Okay, for Kappa Kappa Psi, for the district president, what the biggest focus for the president during the term is actually working on convention planning. This means they are working on WDC during the fall. Like, they are already set on working on the big layouts of what happened at the previous WDC in order to focus on running a good WDC in the future. That happens in the spring, which is coming right up. So that means Mitch right now had been working on this for quite a bit and making sure all the details and all the contact info, all the hosting chapter, everything is under their way and goes smoothly. And he's been working on it this entire year. Like, he's been working with nationals and keeping in mind for the district on what he should be doing. And I also made a note of not a lot of programming, because the big focus is really just planning for WDC and even DLC, which I forgot to mention. And for the vice president, the big focus is obviously teaching with the membership, working with membership education programs, which is just right with the MEP, and continuing membership education programs, which is just right there. I also mentioned ritual because sometimes that is a big focus for the vice president. This can jump from the vice president to the member at large, but I wanted to mention it there because their projects are based on those two things, because there's a lot of interpretation between the actual teaching and the resources that the teachers actually use. And I also want to emphasize that the vice president can no longer be responsible for colonizing any new chapters. They are part of the process, but they are not the sole contact. That is the nationals issue as well, and TBS does the same exact thing, but they do get to be part of the process, but they are not the sole provider of what's going on. They know what's going on, but they're not going to be doing the entire actions. And for the KKSI Secretary Treasurer, obviously their big thing is talking about fundraising / budgeting. Budgeting meaning for the district budget, where they make sure that they are keeping the district money funds in the black so that they are not in the red in case of emergency funds for WDC and DLC, and making sure that it is all good. Another big focus is actually communication. For the KKSI Secretary Treasurer, they actually have to keep a roster of all the names of each member of the chapter and have to do that for each year. And they also solely have to keep the minutes. This is split between the secretary treasurers depending on what strategy they want to do, but they keep the minutes just like they would do for any other chapter meeting, and make sure those are sent out and communicated between the entire district council and advising team and whoever else is necessary for it. And for the member at large, obviously their big thing is kind of actually focusing on service and the brotherhood, and also ritual, which I forgot to mention, but this one's kind of more the flexible position, just like its counterpart, vice president of special projects. But they can do anything they really wanted to, like doing a big service database or having a brotherhood database on bonding, and that's really cool in my opinion. So, but also a big chunk of their time is actually spent on award promotion for the IAAA and the joint awards. So their projects are actually based on that. Whew. Okay, for the Tau Beta Sigma side, obviously, just like the KSI president, the Western District president of Tau Beta Sigma is also focusing on convention planning. And this is obviously like how for this year, Sydney has been focusing on this quite a bit in the fall, and already been working on the details and has been working on it ever since, and that's what she's been doing, and working between nationals and working it in mind for our district. So that's like a big chunk of the time that's spent on this, as well as going over meetings with the entire district council and making sure that they stay on track with that. The presidents do have to do that quite a bit, and they have to work together for WDC and DLC. So their big focus is event planning, instead of like not focusing on a lot of programming. And then there is the Vice President of Membership, who focuses on membership education programs, which is MEP, and continuing membership education programs, which is CMEP and Ritual. And obviously this has kind of been the not as well explained position, and and I just realized I wrote the word shit. This has a direction of many roles because of the very simple one line thing, but this will be focused on better. This could be like the many extra roles that the VPSP and the president cannot do. That's how I would want to say it. Like for this year, I think of it as more of like a PR manager, almost, working with the webmaster or working with anyone else that's been doing public relations, and working on the extra stuff like you wouldn't think of. And I just want to leave it at that because I can go on and on about membership. So for the Vice President of Special Projects, this one's the most flexible one, where anything that doesn't fall under the Vice President of Membership, President, or the Secretary Treasurer, they can do with this. So this one's kind of like a very special position because your goals can focus, or projects can focus on history, service, sisterhood, joint relations, or ritual. So I know this is not a possible thing to cover everything, but these are topics that an officer can focus on for the year, as needed basis for the sisters, which is pretty cool, as well as already focusing on, I didn't write this, the national programming and the promotion of this with Focus on 5 and with the Women in Music Speaker Series, and thinking about the other, all the other, Crescendo, all those programs that are very vital to our organization, or for Tau Beta Sigma. There we go. And for the Secretary Treasurer, this is obviously very similar to the KK Psi one. They focus on fundraising and making sure, typically penny wars, and making sure that's all going underway. But they also work on a district budget, making sure that the organization is on the black and not red, so they make sure that the funds that is used for DLC and WDC is used for sure, and they make sure they communicate all this information to the district council and the advising team and anyone else as necessary, and also keeping plans of the minutes for the entire year and making sure that everything is on spot.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always contact me with my email and any of the other district officers. We are always happy to communicate our ideas and what we can see going on for the next person. And I just wanted to say thank you for hopefully watching this if you ever get the chance. I know it might be a little long, and I do apologize for it being very rough for this week, but I'm always happy to talk about this because I feel very passionate about this and believe that any one of you can do it, and I hope that this gives you like a little window onto some other information you would not see from the district officers, because we usually are pretty busy people, but just wanting to make sure that you understand all this and enjoy it, and hope that you are inspired to run as well. Much love in the bond. Signing off, Natalie Kimura.